So this is my sleeping platform. Pretty much flat packs for easy storage. You can actually detach these pieces too and make it even smaller to store. So let me put it in, show you how it works. So here is the inside of my element when the sleeping platform is in. I'll start down here. Got this straight wall container. This is just like a big drawer. Oh, of course something is catching. It can come all the way out. It just kind of rests right there. It's not on a track or anything. Can come out of the car easily. Put everything away. Just put the whole thing in a shed. This is pretty much all my like kitchen cooking stuff here. This is a new addition, which is clearly hitting. Then over here we got the fridge. Out the cool. You can see the clearance is pretty good, so you know things aren't going to shift around too much, even though they're not really like permanently attached or anything. So this part folds up. See here, it's on an aluminum track that I made and uses these little release pins kind of as the hinges. This part right here is a table that you can slide out. You actually have to use this to keep it in place. So it gives you a nice little perfect height prep surface. It's pretty much level with that, more or less. Get it back in, you gotta release these pins. They catch when you pull it out. Gonna have to set the phone down for a second. Alright, there we go. It's not perfect. I'm trying to find some better hinges. Then it has one here that just locks in place, keeps it from sliding out. Here you can see there's just these tie down kind of D-rings, some NRS straps. It's held in place on the built-in tie down points in the element. And over on this side is where I usually keep my water containers. I usually carry two, I think they're 3 or 4 gallons. So around here, I got these MTM case guard boxes. These things are great because when you fold the seat down, they fit under the seat. So my sleeping platform, when it's fully deployed to actually sleep on, you can see here, this folds up and this bottom panel folds out and rests on top of the headrests of the seat. So the seat folds down, that folds out, and then sits on top. And that gives you plenty of room. I usually sleep with my head down that way because it, you know, your feet kind of hang off over here a little bit, and we usually keep our clothing bags and stuff on the seats up here, kind of at our feet. And here I usually put a angle cooler. It fits perfectly right there. The Engel coolers, you still can recline both seats with the cooler sitting there, and that kind of stops this from moving any further forward, and it is exactly the right size. So it fits there. This goes all the way back, the drawer goes all the way back to the tailgate. And then I've got a couple more of the MTN or MTM cases that I use here. They fit perfectly under there. It's just nice to have rigid storage so you don't crush anything. And of course here I've got my counterproductive Molly panel, fire extinguisher, random stuff, some knives, first aid kit, extra water bottle. Down here, tent stakes for the awning, and the strap for tying the awning together. It was in there, the other two. I only need two when both of them are deployed because I can tie them together. You can see I got the LEDs going right now. It's just kind of testing out. And then of course I've got my net up here, my 300 watt portable auxiliary solar panel slides up in here in the net when we're traveling. Got an extra tent up there right now, a little one-man tent. And this is just kind of a catch-all for various other stuff. I'm actually going to have to redo this because I also have the counterproductive Molly panel that goes up here on the ceiling that I'm going to be installing, so I might have to rethink this setup a little bit. And of course got these trusty O-Polar battery powered fans. These things, this is the larger one. These things will run all night on just their battery in a tent. I've done that before, but in the car, you know, they clip up here and they're hooked up to the battery, so they can run all night in the car too. They're incredibly useful. They don't have to be plugged in. They are battery powered, so you can move them around. And I'm still working on the wiring. I didn't like these switches that I installed here. This hub is not quite working. It's not providing enough power to be running all the LEDs at the same time the way I'd hoped. So I'm gonna have to do some of these individual switches, and I'm probably gonna run the USB off of the AC power, which is this here, which is hooked up to the battery in the back. But let's see if you can see it here. Probably can't really see that well, but right there I have some AC plugs right here attached. So that is where the one in the front is plugged in, and this has a couple of USB ports too, so I'm probably gonna run an extension so I can put those switches up front but run them off of this power here. And then of course we now have the roof deck. So how I get up there usually is just leave the tailgate down, go up the ladder here. This thing makes a nice grab handle. It is rolly, so you gotta be careful, but if you grab it, it works. And now we're up here on the roof. You can see the full coverage of the 180 awnings. So here I got 100 watt, 80 watt, and that's my 300 watt panel on the ground there. There's a port on the front of the car that it plugs into. It's got a pretty long cable so I can move it around wherever I need. I generally, obviously, try to park the car with this side facing the sun. Not only for the solar, but in the morning it's nice because, you know, when I have the sunshade up in the window, the sun is not blasting in the car, waking you up earlier and you want to get up. Then up here I got various boxes. So I got a camp box, got a box for tents and stuff, got a box with the toilet and some extra space. And I don't remember what's in that box right now. Yeah, plenty of storage, and it's much easier now because I don't have to actually take these off the roof now. I can just come up here, unlock them, get what I need out of them, toss it down, and I'm good to go. So yeah, that's the tour of the setup as it sits right now. Oh yeah, and one more thing. Here's one of the kind of cool features of the way I have my sleeping platform built right now. I am considering changing it to one that's on this side that kind of goes over that way, but probably would be a while before I do that. But basically this turns into a seat, so you can sit up here. Let me flip the camera around and show you. Alright, so it's a little tight, but you gotta be careful though, because it does slide. I haven't quite perfected it. There we go. Yeah. Got a little seat in the back of the Element. It's very tight. My head is literally like hitting the ceiling right now, so I really don't sit it like this that often, but if I want to, it's there. Good for watching the sunset or something. So there you have it. That's a basic tour of my Element, the camping setup at least. It's been pretty functional. Had more or less this setup for a while. I did update my platform kind of mid last year, but I did have generally the same kind of design before. I just made it a little nicer. And if you're looking for any of the stuff that I have in here, a lot of it you can find on my website linked. I have Amazon lists of a lot of the like storage gear and very automotive gear and different things. So if you're looking for something that you see here, that is the first place you should check. thecampingelement.com.